silent strength, hidden fire, ancient breath rising again. These are simple words, yet they carry a weight older than your name, older than your memory, older than the life you think is yours. You believe you are just a person, walking through the world, carrying burdens you cannot explain, fighting emotions you cannot decode, surviving moments that feel strangely familiar. But you are far more than this surface identity. The truth is deeper, darker, more profound than anything you have admitted to yourself. You think you are just you, but the higher realms know exactly what soul returned. They watched the moment your energy stepped back into the world, the moment your spirit re-entered the mortal field with a mission hidden inside your heartbeat. And you can feel it sometimes, can't you? That strange pressure inside your chest, the sensation that you were made for something enormous, something heavy, something no ordinary person could endure. That is not imagination. That is recognition. You are here listening to this because something in you has been stirring, waking, pushing against the walls of the life you've been living. And before I go deeper, I want to speak to you from the softest part of intention. If this message moves something inside you, if it touches that quiet place you guard so fiercely, then take a moment to support the space that brings you these words. Subscribe if the energy calls you like the message. If your heart feels that rise, and leave a comment. If this speech feels like it speaks your unspoken truth. Your interaction is not just support for the channel, but a declaration that you recognize the part of you that refuses to disappear. Because you were not sent back as an empty shell. You were not sent here to be ordinary. You were not sent with a quiet assignment. The higher realms do not send powerful souls into gentle lives. They send them into storms. They send them into shadows. They send them into battles where the memory of strength must be earned again and again. They send them to places where they will question themselves, break open, and rediscover the hidden weapons they once carried with ease. And that is you. Whether you accept it or not, whether you believe it yet or not, you are carrying codes of resilience that were written long before this lifetime. The world you entered did not shape you. It simply awakened the shape you already had. You may feel like life has tossed you into darkness, but darkness is a language your soul already knows. You may feel like you've been bruised by losses and confused by pain, but pain has always been the teacher that cracks open the door you were meant to walk through. You may feel like adversity hunts you, but adversity hunts only those who have something worth hunting. The higher realms know that you are not fragile. They know the depth of the soul that returned. They know the fire you are capable of. They know the silence you can transform into power. They know the storm you can walk through without collapsing. You came here with strength hidden behind softness, courage hidden behind doubt, and destiny hidden behind your human hesitation. Sometimes you wonder why you feel heavier than others, why you sense things people around you cannot feel, why you understand suffering on a level that words fail to explain. It is because you have lived lifetimes where strength was not a skill, but a necessity. You have walked through worlds that demanded intensity. You have carried gifts that frightened those who did not understand them, and you have survived lessons that carved wisdom into your spirit. When this life challenges you, it is not an attack. It is an activation. It is your soul recognizing the moment to rise. Everything you consider a flaw may actually be a memory. Your sensitivity is not weakness. It is the echo of a soul that has lived enough to feel deeply. Your loneliness is not emptiness, it is the gap left when you return without the people you once fought beside in other realms. Your restlessness is not frustration, It is the pulse of destiny tapping against the walls of your daily existence. You are not confused about who you are. You are remembering who you were. And if you think the world has underestimated you, good. You were never meant to be recognized by the world. You were meant to be recognized by destiny. You were meant to move in silence until the moment your power becomes impossible to ignore. You were meant to be doubted because those who rise without validation rise unshakable. And you were meant to survive what others could not because your soul has carried armor from lifetimes you no longer consciously recall. There is a reason you feel separate from the noise, a reason you don't fully blend with the world, a reason you crave something higher, something deeper, something more meaningful. You are not incomplete. You are simply not meant for shallow waters. Your depth is not accidental. It is inherited. It is ancient. It is the signature of a soul that didn't come back for comfort, but for purpose. Look at your hardships. Look at the people you lost. Look at the moments that shattered you. These were not punishments. These were markings. These were symbols. These were the chisels that carved the energy you carry now. Every scar is a story the higher realms already knew you would add to your collection. They did not send you here to break. They sent you here because you do not break the way others do. You bend, you burn, you fall, you rage, but then you rise with a force that cannot be explained. And each time you rise, the higher realms whisper, "We know that soul. We have seen this power before." And when you sit alone at night, staring at the ceiling, feeling the heaviness inside your chest, feeling the pull towards something you cannot name, that is your spirit remembering its origin. That is the moment your soul tries to remind you who you were before the world told you who to be. You are not lost. You are in the process of returning to yourself. The world may not understand your silence, but the higher realms understand your energy. The world may not understand your patience, but the higher realms understand your timing. The world may not understand your vision, but the higher realms understand the assignment that was woven into your existence. You are not here by accident. You were placed in this timeline with precision, because something about your soul is required right now. Every challenge you face is exactly proportionate to the power you carry. Every disappointment is proportionate to the shift you are preparing for. Every ending you've endured is proportionate to the rebirth your life is moving toward. You were not sent back to repeat old patterns. You were sent back to break them. And breaking patterns is not gentle. It is not beautiful. It is not kind. It is war on the inside. But your soul has fought on terrains far more brutal than this lifetime could ever produce. That is why even when you feel exhausted, you are still standing. That is why even when you feel empty, there is still a spark in you that refuses to die. That is why even when you think you're done, something inside you keeps whispering, "Not yet." You are the kind of soul that is watched by the higher up realms because your presence here shifts timelines. You change people without trying. You heal people without knowing. You awaken people without intending. Your energy is not normal. Your intuition is not accidental. Your resilience is not coincidental. Your existence is deliberate, and the higher realms know. They know the battles you fought before you arrived. They know the contracts you agreed to. They know the weights you volunteered to carry. Yes, volunteered. Souls like yours do not get forced into difficult lives. Souls like yours choose them because you understand that transformation is a mission, not a punishment. So if you feel tired, it is because you are powerful. If you feel burdened, it is because you are capable. If you feel lost, it is because you are being redirected. And if you feel like you don't belong here, it is because you came from a place that speaks a language the world no longer remembers. But you remember. Even if you don't consciously recognize it, your spirit remembers. It remembers the light it once held, the wisdom it once wielded, the strength it once commanded. And that is why life pushes you. It is not trying to destroy you. It is trying to wake you. You think you're just you, but you are a returning force, a returning fire, a returning presence. The higher realms recognize the moment your soul crossed the veil and re-entered this reality. They whispered, "They're back." They whispered, "This one will rise again." They whispered, "They know what soul returned." And now it's your turn to remember. You are not done. You are barely beginning. And the world has not yet seen what you are truly capable of. But they will. The moment you stop doubting, the moment you stop shrinking, the moment you stop pretending to be ordinary, the moment you step into the truth, your spirit already knows the entire trajectory of your life will shift. You were not sent here to fit. You were sent here to awaken, and you will, because your soul has risen before, and it will rise again. And as you move forward, you will begin to realize that every moment of heaviness was a message, and every moment of doubt was a doorway. You will begin to sense that nothing in your life was random, and no experience was meaningless. The higher realms have watched your steps with a patience that stretches beyond time, because they know that souls like yours do not rise quickly, they rise deeply. They rise through understanding, through endurance, through the slow, steady awakening of power that cannot be rushed. That is why your path has been slow and sometimes painfully silent. Silence is where the strongest souls remember who they are. Silence is where destiny speaks in a voice only you can hear. Silence is where the truth of your spirit becomes impossible to ignore. And you have entered that stage now, the stage where your soul begins to reclaim what it once carried with certainty. You may not feel strong, but strength has never needed your permission to exist within you. You may not feel worthy, but worthiness has never disappeared simply because you could not see it. You may not feel chosen, but chosen souls are rarely the ones who feel chosen. They are the ones who are tested, shaped, and tempered through experiences that force them to evolve. And you have evolved in ways you do not yet understand. Every hardship stretched your spirit. Every disappointment expanded your resilience. Every heartbreak carved space inside you for a deeper level of purpose. You have been preparing without knowing. You have been training without realizing. You have been transforming without asking for it. That is how powerful souls awaken, not through comfort, but through fire. And the higher realms have watched all of it. They saw the moments where you broke yet kept moving. They saw the nights where you felt forgotten yet woke up anyway. They saw the days where you wanted to quit, but something inside you refused. They know what soul returned because they saw the strength you carried long before this life began. And they see that strength rising again even now, especially now. You may think you are moving slowly, but your soul is accelerating. You may think you are standing still, but your energy is shifting. You may think nothing is happening, but everything is happening underneath the surface. Change does not announce itself. It builds. Quietly, patiently, powerfully, until the moment it erupts. And your eruption is coming. Not an eruption of anger, but an eruption of becoming. The moment where you shed everything the world convinced you to believe about yourself. The moment where your old patterns dissolve because they can no longer hold the weight of the person you are turning into. The moment where your fear stops leading and your spirit steps forward with a certainty you forgot you had. You will rise. Not because rising is easy, but because rising is the only thing your soul knows how to do. You have risen in lifetimes before, and you will rise again, because it is written within you like a silent code awakening. one layer at a time. And when you rise, you will not rise like a whisper. You will rise like memory, like destiny, like a presence that was never truly gone. The world will sense it before they see it. People around you will feel the shift, even if they cannot explain it. Opportunities will start aligning, pathways will start opening, and the heaviness you once carried will transform into clarity. The confusion will fade, the fog will lift, the doubts will quiet themselves because your energy will no longer allow itself to shrink. You cannot stay small when your soul was crafted for purpose. You cannot hide when your spirit was shaped for impact. You cannot disappear when the higher realms are calling you to stand, and they are calling. That feeling inside your chest, that subtle pull, that quiet urgency is the call. It is the reminder that you are returning to the mission you once carried. It is the echo of the agreements you made before entering this lifetime. It is the memory of the strength you once held so naturally, and now that strength is waking again, one beat at a time, one realization at a time, one moment of courage at a time. You are not who you were at the beginning of this journey. You are not even who you were yesterday. Something in you is shedding something in you, is sharpening something in you, is remembering. And as you step into this rising, you will notice that the world reacts differently to you. The situations that once broke you will no longer have the power to shake you. The voices that once intimidated you will no longer define your worth. The fears that once held you down will no longer feel like walls. They will feel like illusions. Because that is what fear is, for souls like yours, an illusion. A temporary fog covering a path that was always meant to be walked by you. And once the fog lifts, you understand that everything you needed was always within you. Everything you sought was always inside you. Everything you feared losing was never meant to define you. You are returning to yourself now, returning to the truth, returning to the memory, returning to the identity that your soul carried long before this body, before this life, before this chapter. And when that identity fully awakens, the world around you will shift in ways that cannot be explained by logic. Because you were never meant to move through life as an ordinary force. You were always meant to move as a presence that changes the atmosphere. The higher realms know this. They knew it the moment you arrived. They knew it even when you didn't. They knew what soul returned, and soon you will know too. And as this awakening deepens, you will begin to see that every moment that once felt like darkness was actually a preparation for clarity. You will notice that the people who left were never meant to stay because their presence would have limited your rise. You will recognize that the doors that closed did not reject you. They redirected you toward the path that matches the depth of your spirit. And you will start to understand that the weight you carried was never punishment. It was preparation, designed to make you stronger, sharper, wiser, and aligned with the mission your soul carried into this life. The mission you are now beginning to reclaim. The higher realms do not make mistakes, and they did not send you here without purpose. They trusted you with this journey because they knew you could carry it even when you doubted yourself. You will feel a shift inside you, a quiet but powerful shift, the kind that changes you without announcing itself. You will look at challenges that once overwhelmed you and feel a steady calm where fear used to be. You will see obstacles not as barriers, but as signals that you are moving towards something greater. You will no longer cling to what is familiar because you will feel the pull of what is meant for you. And that pull will grow stronger every day. It will guide you through the uncertainty. It will guide you through the chaos. It will guide you through your own doubts, because destiny cannot lose you. Destiny always finds its way back to the soul it belongs to. and destiny has already recognized you. Your energy will begin to change the room the moment you enter, not through force, not through noise, but through presence. A presence shaped by everything you survived, a presence carved from experiences that would have ended a weaker spirit, a presence the higher realms have been waiting to see reawaken. You will not seek validation because you will carry certainty. You will not chase acceptance because you will finally understand why you never blended with the world around you. You were not created to blend. You were created to shift, to evolve, to disturb the limitations that once controlled you, and to rise beyond the boundaries that once kept you invisible. When this realization settles into your being, everything changes. And the people who once doubted you will begin to sense something different. They will not be able to explain it, but they will feel it. They will feel that you are not someone who breaks easily. They will feel that you have returned to the truth of who you are. They will feel that your strength does not come from this lifetime alone. It comes from the echoes of many lives before this one. And that truth will make you walk differently, think differently, rise differently, because you are no longer living from fear. You are living from memory. The memory of a soul that has risen in places far beyond this world. And as the days pass, you will begin to see signs. Quiet signs, small signs, powerful signs. Signs that your path is real, that your timing is aligned, that all the pain had purpose. You will feel guided even when you do not know the next step. You will feel protected even in moments of uncertainty. You will feel watched over by something greater than yourself, because you are. The higher realms have never once looked away from you. They have never doubted your strength. They have never questioned your mission. They have never forgotten what soul returned. And the time is coming when you will not forget either. And as your awakening grows deeper, you will begin to feel a strange familiarity with the strength rising inside you. A strength that feels older than your body and wiser than your thoughts. You will feel moments where you pause and sense something guiding you from within, something steady, something ancient, something calm. This is the moment when your spirit begins to lead and your fears begin to fade. This is the moment when you understand that you were never walking alone. The higher realms have been beside you since the moment your soul returned to this world. They knew the storms you would face. They knew the trials you would endure. They knew the shadows you would walk through. And they also knew that none of it could break you because your soul was shaped by battles beyond human memory. You were made to walk through things that others cannot endure. You were made to rise through challenges that appear impossible. And you were made to carry a purpose that vibrates beyond the limits of this life. You will soon notice a change in the way you react to the world. Situations that once drained you will no longer pull you down. Words that once wounded you will no longer leave a mark. People who once confused you will no longer hold any power over your peace. You will not rise with anger. You will rise with clarity. A clarity that whispers through your spirit, telling you that you are stepping into the reality that was designed for you long before you were born. You will feel it in your heartbeat. Ah, how audacious they were, thinking they could toy with the sacred strings of your soul, pluck at your emotions like a careless musician, striking notes on a fragile violin. They believed in their boundless arrogance, that they could orchestrate a symphony of suffering and chaos, leaving no trace of their wickedness, as if the silence left in their wake would never speak of the destruction they had caused. They thought they could use you, bend you, break you, without ever facing the consequences of their deeds. But they were wrong. They always were wrong. And now you stand as a testament to their mistake, no longer the puppet in their theater, but the one who controls the strings of their own fate. They thought, They could leave you broken and empty, cast aside like a discarded toy. After their amusement had ended, they were so sure that your pain would not matter, that the echo of their cruelty would fade away into the abyss of forgotten memories. But you are not the sum of their torment. You are the embodiment of resilience forged in the furnace of suffering. You have risen from the ashes of their malevolence, stronger than you ever were before. You are the storm that they never saw coming, and you will not be silenced again. Do not think for a moment that their actions were accidental, or that they were blind to the pain they caused. No, they played their games with intention. They sought to corrupt the purity of your spirit, because they saw in you something they could never possess. They saw strength and vulnerability intertwined in a way they could not comprehend. They saw beauty in your soul, and it terrified them. They saw the light that burned so brightly within you, and they wanted to snuff it out before it could shine too brightly. For the world to see, they desired to play with your soul and leave with no repercussions, because they believed they could walk away untouched by the harm they had done. But they failed to understand that when you damage something sacred, you are not immune to the consequences of that destruction. They failed to realize that their cruelty would return to them tenfold. For every wound they inflicted, every tear they caused, every piece of your soul they tore away, there is a reckoning waiting for them. It is inevitable. It is as certain as the dawn following the darkest night. They thought they could play their games with no regard for the cost. But now, the price is theirs to pay, and when it comes, it will not be swift nor merciful. It will be a reminder that no one is exempt from the laws of karma. Not even those who think they are untouchable. They will learn that what they have sown will grow into something far more dangerous than they ever imagined. You may have been their target, their victim, the object of their twisted amusement, but that was never your identity. That was never your truth. You are not the product of their abuse or their cruelty. You are not the story they tried to write for you. You are the writer of your own fate, and you have chosen to rise from the ashes of their betrayal to rebuild what they tried to tear apart. You are not their casualty. You are their reckoning, and they will never escape the shadow of what they did to you. In the end, they will see the truth that they were blind to all along. They will understand that their actions were not without consequence, that their attempts to play with your soul were never in vain, because now they must answer for every moment of suffering they caused, for every tear they forced from your eyes, for every ounce of hope they tried to steal from your heart. They believed they could leave without repercussions, but what they failed to realize was that you were the storm that would come for them, and now they must face the fury of the winds. They tried to provoke. They wanted to play with your soul and walk away as if nothing had happened, as if the destruction they left behind could simply be erased. They wanted to shatter you piece by piece and leave you crumbling in their wake. But you are not a fragile thing to be discarded. You are not something they can control or manipulate. You are a force to be reckoned with, and now they will know it. They will learn that there is a cost to the games. They play with the hearts and minds of others. They will learn that the universe does not forget, nor does it forgive the wrongs done against the pure. Your strength comes not from the absence of pain, but from the way you have endured it and emerged stronger. Your resilience is born from the very struggle they sought to break you. With you are not defined by their actions or their cruelty. You are defined by how you rise in the face of it, by how you transform their darkness into your light, by how you turn their hatred into fuel for your fire. You are the proof that no matter how hard they try, no matter how much they wish to destroy you, they cannot defeat what is indestructible in you. Now look at them. Look at the empty shells of the people who once believed they could control your fate. Look at their faces twisted with regret and fear. As they realized the consequences of their actions, they thought they could leave with no repercussions. But they have underestimated the power of your spirit. They have underestimated the reckoning that awaits them. They have underestimated the power of someone who has been pushed to their limits and has come out the other side unbroken. The silence they left behind is not the absence of sound. It is the calm before the storm. It is the quiet before the reckoning arrives. And when it comes, it will be louder than anything they ever imagined. It will shake the very foundation of their world, and they will be powerless to stop it. They thought they could walk away untouched, but now they will understand that the pain they caused is not something that can be buried or forgotten. It is something that will follow them wherever they go. It is a shadow that will never leave their side. And so they will be forced to reckon with their choices, forced to face the consequences of the havoc they wreaked on your life. They will see that there is no escaping the damage they have done, that they will never truly be free from the ghosts of their actions. They will learn that no one is untouchable, that even those who think they can escape the consequences of their cruelty will find that the universe always has a way of bringing justice to light. You were never meant to be a pawn in their games. You were never meant to be a victim of their cruelty. You were meant to be the victor, the one who stands tall and unbroken in the face of everything they tried to throw at you. They thought they could toy with your soul and leave with no repercussions, but now they will see the price they must pay for underestimating the power that lies within you. They will see that when they tried to break you, they only made you stronger. And in the end, it is not them who will walk away unscathed. It is you who will stand victorious. They desired to play with your soul and leave with no repercussions. But they have failed. They have failed because you are not the broken thing they believed you to be. You are not the shattered remnants of their cruelty. You are the warrior who has risen from the ashes of their destruction, and now they must face the wrath of the storm they created. The storm they created is no mere tempest, no fleeting gust of wind that will pass as soon as it arrives. It is a raging force that will ripple through the very fabric of their existence, undoing every illusion they once held about themselves. They thought they could sow chaos in your life and then leave with the satisfaction of watching you crumble under the weight of their malice. But they were wrong. They did not realize that when they pushed you into the fire, they were not forging your destruction, but rather shaping your strength. The storm they created was never meant to break you. It was meant to forge you into something greater. And now, that storm will rage against them, a relentless force of nature that will not be quelled. You see, their arrogance blinded them to the truth. They assumed that because they held power over you for a time, they would forever control the narrative. But they failed to see the quiet resilience that existed beneath the surface. They failed to understand that the pain they caused would not crush your spirit, but ignite it. They failed to realize that the deeper they pushed you, the more you would rise. Like the ocean's tide, the more they attempted to bury you beneath their waves, the more you would return stronger, with a fierceness that could not be denied. The storm is no longer in their control. The winds are now in your favor, and you are the one who will dictate its course. The reckoning that is to come is inevitable. The universe, a vast and intricate network of cause and effect, does not forget. It does not turn a blind eye to the cruelty that one soul inflicts upon another. There is a cosmic balance, an inherent justice that cannot be ignored. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. For every blow they struck, for every wound they inflicted, there will be a ripple that they cannot escape. The storm they thought they could send to destroy you is now coming for them, and they are helpless in its wake. They believed they could leave with no repercussions. They believed that once they had played their cruel games, once they had twisted the strings of your soul, they could walk away untouched, without consequence. But in doing so, they overlooked one crucial truth. You are not a passive participant in this world. You are not someone who simply reacts to the winds of fate. You are a force of nature in your own right, and every action they took against you has merely been the catalyst for your transformation. The storm that was meant to break you has only served to awaken your true power, and now it is too late for them to run. As they cower in the face of their own destruction, they will realize the magnitude of their miscalculation. They will come to understand that the seeds they planted have grown into a storm so fierce, so unrelenting, that there is no place left for them to hide. Every lie they told, every manipulation they employed, every ounce of their cruelty that they thought was inconsequential will come crashing down upon them like a thunderstorm, drowning them in the very chaos they sought to inflict upon you. And they will find, when the storm reaches its peak, that there is no escape from the consequences of their actions. What they fail to understand is that your soul is not something they can control. They may have thought they could pluck at your heartstrings like a careless musician, but they underestimated the depth of your spirit. They thought they could twist your emotions, make you dance to their cruel tune, but they could not see that you were never the instrument in their hands. You were always the conductor of your own fate. They mistook your kindness for weakness, your compassion for vulnerability, and your silence for submission. But in doing so, they failed to see the truth that lay beneath the surface. You are not a victim of their games. You are the architect of your own destiny, and now they will learn that their attempts to play with your soul have only unleashed the fury of a power far greater than they could have ever imagined. The storm they have created will not be kind. It will not be a gentle breeze or a fleeting gust of wind. No, this storm will be violent, unforgiving, and unstoppable. It will tear down the walls they've built around themselves, exposing them for the fragile, hollow beings they truly are. They will feel the weight of their actions in ways they never thought possible. Every moment of suffering they caused will return to them in full force, a reflection of the darkness they tried to cast upon your soul. They will experience the consequences of their cruelty, the price they must pay for attempting to manipulate, control, and break you. The storm will show them that there is no hiding from the truth of what they've done. It's not just about them suffering, it's about the truth coming to light. The storm is not just a manifestation of anger or revenge. It is the universe's way of restoring balance, of righting the wrongs that they thought they could sweep under the rug. It's about justice, raw, unyielding justice. They cannot escape what they have done, no matter how far they run or how deep they try to bury the truth. Every piece of their cruelty will be exposed for all to see. Every lie, every deceit, every manipulation will come to the surface, and they will be forced to face the consequences of their actions. The storm is not something they can weather by hiding away or pretending it never existed. No, the storm will find them, and it will bring everything they tried to bury into the harsh light of day. And even when they try to minimize their actions, to justify their cruelty with words that ring hollow, they will find that the storm they have created has a power that cannot be silenced. The truth will rise, and they will have no choice but to listen to it. They will have no choice but to confront the full weight of their wrongdoings, and there will be no place for them to hide. The storm is relentless, and it will not stop until they are forced to reckon with what they have done. They thought they could leave with no repercussions, but the universe has a way of ensuring that no wrong goes unpunished. You are the storm. You are the force that will bring them to their knees, the reckoning that they cannot avoid. They believed they could break you, control you, use you for their own gain, and walk away unscathed. But in their arrogance, they failed to recognize the power that resides within you. They underestimated the strength of your soul, the fire that burns within you. And now they will learn the true cost of underestimating someone like you. You are not someone they can manipulate, someone they can discard once they are done with you. You are the storm that will follow them wherever they go, the reckoning they cannot escape, and they will never forget the lesson they learned from toying with you. The storm they created was not just a temporary disruption. It was a cataclysm that will reverberate through their lives for years to come. They will feel its effects in every corner of their existence, and they will never forget the way they thought they could walk away untouched. But now, as the storm reaches its peak, they will see the truth. They were never in control. They were always at the mercy of the consequences of their own actions. And no matter how they try to escape it, they will find that the storm is relentless. It will follow them, it will haunt them, and it will remind them every day of the price they paid for underestimating the power of your spirit. And when the storm finally subsides, when the winds have calmed and the damage has been done, you will stand victorious. You will have emerged from the chaos unbroken, stronger than you ever were before. You will have shown them that no matter how hard they try to destroy you, no matter how much they think they can toy with your soul, you are indestructible. You are the storm, and no one, not even them, can stop you. They thought they could bend you to their will, twist your soul into something unrecognizable, control your every move with their dark manipulations. But they were wrong. They underestimated the sheer power that lies within you, a power that has been forged in the fires of adversity, tempered by the harshest winds and most violent storms. They thought they could break you, but what they did not understand is that the storms that come into your life are never meant to defeat you. They are meant to awaken the fierce, untamed force that lies dormant inside. They did not know what they were stirring when they began to mess with the sacredness of your soul. They have no idea what they unleashed when they decided to play with fire. What they thought was their victory, the moment they made you feel small, insignificant, like you were nothing more than a piece of their game, was nothing but a fleeting illusion. The game was never in their favor. They played with your heart, played with your mind, and thought that the destruction they sowed in their wake would remain forever unchallenged. But they did not know the laws of the universe, the laws of karma, or the resilience of a soul that has known true suffering. What they set in motion with their cruelty, their recklessness, will be the very thing that brings them to their knees. They wanted to play with your soul and leave unscathed, but now they will find that no one can ever escape the consequences of their actions, no matter how much power they think they wield. Your storm will not be a fleeting squall, a brief moment of chaos that passes without leaving a trace. No, the storm within you is eternal, unrelenting, and unstoppable. It is not something that can be quelled with apologies or empty promises. It is the storm of a soul that has seen the worst of humanity, that has endured betrayal, heartbreak, and cruelty, yet still stands strong. They may have thought they could take everything from you, crush your spirit, make you cower in the face of their dominance. But what they failed to realize is that your spirit was never theirs to break. It was always meant to rise from the ashes, stronger, more powerful, more defiant than ever before. When they see the storm you have become, they will realize the depth of their mistake. They will understand that the soul they tried to manipulate, the heart they tried to break, the mind they sought to control, cannot be touched by their petty games. They will feel the winds of their own destruction whipping around them, relentless and unforgiving. They will realize that everything they did to you, every moment they thought they could inflict pain without consequence, has only set the stage for their own downfall. They believed they could escape the fallout, but now They will find themselves caught in the storm they thought they could control. You are not just a survivor of their cruelty. You are not just someone who endured their darkness and came out the other side. You are a force of nature. You are a reminder to them and to the world that no matter how much darkness tries to cloud the light will always break through. No matter how many times the storm rages, no matter how many times you are pushed to your limits, you will always rise again. You are not bound by the chains of their manipulation. You are not defined by the pain they inflicted upon you. You are defined by your ability to rise again, to transform their attempts to destroy you into the very fuel that propels you forward. They may try to diminish you. They may try to convince themselves that they were justified in their actions, that their cruelty was somehow deserved, but it doesn't matter. The storm that lives inside you is not concerned with their justifications. It is not concerned with their excuses. The storm only cares about justice, about balance, about the truth that is buried beneath their lies and deceit. And as the winds of that storm continue to grow stronger, they will realize that no amount of denial or manipulation will shield them from what they have set in motion. The storm they created is coming for them, and there is nowhere left to hide. The storm will not be merciful. It will not be kind. It will tear through their carefully constructed lives, ripping apart every illusion they've ever held. The walls they built to protect themselves from the consequences of their actions will crumble under the weight of their guilt. They will be exposed, raw, vulnerable, and they will see for the first time the true cost of their cruelty. They will realize that no matter how far they run, no matter how much they try to escape, they cannot outrun the reckoning that is coming for them. They wanted to take something from you, your peace, your happiness, your sense of self. But what they failed to understand is that what they took from you was never meant to be theirs. It was always a lesson, always a part of the process of your transformation. They thought they could break you, but instead, they only made you stronger. They thought they could control you, but instead, they have given you the tools to reclaim your power. The storm is not just a force of destruction, it is a force of creation. It is the storm that will build you back up, piece by piece, until you are a towering force that no one can ever attempt to tear down again. Your storm is your weapon, your shield, your strength. It is the reflection of everything you have been through, every challenge you have faced, every time you have been knocked down and had to rise again. The storm is not something to be feared. It is not something that should be seen as a threat or a danger. It is a reminder that you are not someone who will be destroyed by the chaos of the world. You are someone who will stand strong in the face of it, who will rise from the wreckage, who will transform everything that was meant to harm you into something that will propel you forward. The storm is the manifestation of your defiance, of your refusal to let anyone dictate your worth or your future. It is the embodiment of your power, a power that no one can take from you. As they watch their world unravel, as they feel the winds of their own destruction closing in around them, they will understand the magnitude of what they did. They will see that their attempts to control you, to play with your soul, have only created a force far beyond their comprehension. They will see that they were never in control, not of you, not of the storm. And they will understand as the winds howl around them and the storm rages through their lives that their reckoning has come and there is no escaping it. The storm they thought they could send to destroy you is now the storm that will destroy them. Every action they took against you, every moment they thought they were above the consequences, will come crashing down upon them. There is no refuge from the storm. There is no place where they can hide from the truth of what they have done. The storm will find them, and it will break through every barrier they have erected, exposing them for who They truly are. They will be powerless to stop it, powerless to deny it, powerless to escape it. And in the end, they will see that the storm was never meant to break you. It was meant to break them. You are the storm, and nothing they can do will ever stop you. They may have tried to control you, manipulate you, break you, but in the end, it is they who will crumble beneath the weight of their own actions. They will fall while you rise, because the storm is your power, and it is unstoppable. They cannot fight it. They cannot outrun it. The storm is yours, and it will carry you to victory. And when the storm has passed, when the winds have calmed and the dust has settled, you will stand tall, unshaken, unbroken. You will be a testament to the power of resilience, to the strength that lies within every soul, to the unyielding force that no one, not even them, can ever extinguish. You are the storm, and no one, not even them, can ever stop you. In the end, they will learn that no force can break you. No storm they create can destroy you. You are the storm, the embodiment of resilience, power, and unwavering strength. They thought they could manipulate, control, and leave you shattered, but instead, they unleashed a force far beyond their comprehension. And when the dust settles, you will remain standing, stronger, fiercer, unbroken. Proof that no matter how violently they try to shake you, you will always rise, unstoppable. They thought they could leave with no repercussions, but now they will see that their reckoning is inevitable. You are the storm, and no one can ever stop you. You made it, not by accident, not by invitation, not with applause, not with approval. You made it because you broke through, shattered what they said was unbreakable, walked when they said you'd crawl, stood tall when they prayed you'd kneel, and now, oh now, you walk in glowing, not just shining, not just sparkling, not just with light, but with proof, with presence, with that unstoppable fire behind your eyes that says, I'm still here, and I'm not leaving. And guess what? They hate it. Oh, they don't say it out loud. Number. That would be too obvious. They hide it behind plastic smiles, forced congratulations, carefully veiled words. But don't think for 1 second that you can't smell the smoke from their envy burning just beneath the surface. Because you walked in and didn't ask permission. You didn't wait for the world to crown you. You crowned yourself. You built your throne with the bones of every insult they threw, every doubt they whispered, every room they didn't want you in. And now they can't look at you without choking on the weight of their own mediocrity. You walk in glowing, and they start hiding, because light exposes shadows. And you, my friend, are the sun they tried to block out. They never hated you because you failed. They hated you because you kept showing up. They hated you because you dared to try again, because you rose after every fall like your pain was some kind of fuel. And now, the glow isn't luck. It isn't handed. It's earned. It's pain set on fire. It's hunger forged into steel. You don't just look good. You look like everything they tried to keep you from becoming. You don't just glow. You blind them. You don't just walk in. You take the air with you. And they can't breathe when you shine. See, they loved you when you were small, when you were uncertain, when you apologized for existing, when your voice trembled and your dreams were fragile. That version of you didn't threaten them. That version let them stay comfortable. But then something happened, didn't it? You cracked open, you bled, you lost. You screamed into pillows, faced demons in silence, carved your name into stone with your own fingernails. And something inside you changed. You weren't born glowing, you were forged. Your glow comes from every fire you walked through, every betrayal you swallowed, every time you kept your mouth shut while they tried to laugh at your pain. And now you don't ask for a seat at the table. You build your own goddamn castle. Now you don't speak to be accepted. You speak to be heard. And whether they like it or not, they will hear you. Whether they clap or not, you will walk in like thunder. Whether they approve or not, you will glow. Because that's what happens when you've suffered enough to become a storm. You're not glowing because it's pretty. You're glowing because it's war paint. Because the moment you walked in, they knew. They knew this wasn't the same version of you they mocked. This wasn't the one they ghosted, talked down to, pretended not to see. This is the you that remembers everything. The you that holds grudges like armor and walks with wounds you made into weapons. They start hiding because they see it now. They see what you've become. They see that all those nights you were quiet, you weren't broken. You were reloading. You were studying. You were watching. You were waiting. And now you walk in with scars that look like royalty, with silence that feels like a threat, with peace that you earned, with presence that makes them shrink, because they never expected you to survive. And now you're not just surviving, you're glowing. They call it arrogance. You call it resurrection. They say you're too much. You say they've been too little for too long. They say you've changed. You say, finally. In every room you enter from this day forward, let them whisper. Let them question. Let them feel the discomfort of watching someone they counted out turn into someone they can't count around. Let them study you like a threat. Let them talk. But you, don't you shrink. Don't you dim. Don't you apologize for evolving, because your glow is the evidence of war, and you won. You want to know why they're mad? Because you're not supposed to look this good after what you've been through. You're not supposed to be this confident after how they left you. You're not supposed to be glowing after they buried you in silence. But guess what? You do look good. So damn good, it's pissing them off. You glow like every room was built for your arrival. You walk like you own your scars. You speak like the world's been silent too long, and now they don't know how to face you. Because to face you now is to face the fact that they lost, that their doubt, their absence, their silence, their gossip, their sabotage didn't work, that you came out harder, sharper, realer. They can't celebrate you because celebrating you means admitting they were wrong. So they hide. They hide behind shade, behind fake smiles, behind silence, behind passive-aggressive comments, behind ghosting, behind fake love. But let them hide. You weren't made to be understood by those who fear growth. You weren't built to be loved by cowards. You were built to burn in full view and stay on fire. You're not just glowing because of wins. You're glowing because of survival, because of how you kept getting up, how you stayed when it was easier to leave, how you walked with wounds nobody saw, how you carried yourself when no one was watching. They didn't see the training montage. They only see the result, and they're jealous. Not because you're better, but because you did what they were too afraid to even attempt. So let them be uncomfortable. Let them avoid eye contact. Let them hate in silence. But you stand taller, you walk louder, you laugh harder. Because you're not just glowing, you're glorious. Because the hate you feel, that's just confirmation that you finally became someone they can't ignore, someone they can't control, someone they can't define. Let them hide. You weren't made for hiding. You were made for impact. Let them whisper. You weren't made for background noise. You were made for amplified presence. Let them wish. You weren't made for dreams. You were made to be a living reminder that some people don't break. They become unbreakable. So next time you walk in glowing and feel the shift in the room, smile. Smile because they know. Smile because you don't need to say a word. Smile because you've already said enough just by surviving. And when they ask, who does she think she is? Or why is he acting like he's everything? Don't flinch, don't shrink, don't explain. Just say, I'm glowing and you can't fake this light. Because you look too good. And yeah, it's pissing them off. Good. And now the room is tense. You feel it, don't you? That coldness pretending to be casual. That silence pretending to be peace. That look away energy. Like your success burned their eyes. Like your smile is a spotlight they didn't ask for. But you didn't come here to be liked. You came here to be known. You came here to be undeniable. You walked in with light on your skin, thunder in your step, and a don't ask me again look in your eyes. And every insecure soul in that room flinched. Every false friend got quiet. Every fake supporter suddenly remembered somewhere else they needed to be. And you just stood there, glowing like vengeance and rebirth rolled into one. You don't need their applause anymore. You don't even need their presence. You're not the same version of you who once begged to be seen. That person, that ghost of the past, died in silence, buried under years of being overlooked, underappreciated, underestimated. You've changed now. You're the funeral and the resurrection. You're the soft voice that became a war cry. You're the kindness that grew teeth. You're the silence that learned how to roar. And it shows. It shows in every step. It shows in your posture. It shows in your peace. The kind that threatens people who only know chaos. You walk in glowing because you know who you are now, and that scares them. People aren't afraid of your success. They're afraid of your certainty, your conviction. That rare air you breathe when you've truly made peace with not needing anyone's validation. That's the kind of glow they can't handle, the kind that comes from within. Because the truth is, you're not trying anymore. You've arrived. And they see it. It's in the way you don't chase, the way you don't flinch, the way you don't explain yourself. You used to shrink to keep them comfortable. You used to dim your glow just so they wouldn't feel small. But no more. That version of you is gone, dead and buried. And from its ashes rose something holy, something dangerous, something real. And they can feel it. They can feel that you are no longer made of apology. You are made of aftermath. You are made of all the days you didn't quit. You are made of every no that taught you how to take what's yours. So when they hide, don't chase them. When they fall silent, don't speak to fill the gap. Let them sit in the shadows. Let them feel what it's like to miss someone who glowed through the darkness they tried to trap you in. Because this isn't revenge. This is radiance. You're not trying to hurt them. Your existence is just a reminder of everything they were too afraid to become. You walk in and the mirror breaks for them. They don't see you. They see what they're not, what they gave up on, what they talked themselves out of. Your glow becomes a spotlight on their cowardice. Your confidence is a personal insult to their insecurity. And you don't have to lift a finger. Because nothing shakes a room more than someone who used to be broken walking in like a goddamn monument. So keep walking, with that head held high, with that elegance that can't be faked, with that presence that turns air into tension and silence into storms. They'll keep hiding, let them, because you've got bigger things to do than wait for small minds to grow. You've got kingdoms to build. You've got peace to protect. You've got a glow to maintain, one that didn't come easy. And if you ever doubt it, remember, they don't hide from the weak. They don't hide from the average. They don't hide from the forgotten. They only hide when the real one walks in. They only hide when the one they thought was finished walks in burning brighter than ever. They only hide when your very presence becomes proof that you are everything they feared you'd become. You didn't just glow, you became the fire, and now they can't stand the heat. Let them sweat. Let them shrink. Let them talk in corners while you stand in full light, because you walk in glowing, and they hide, as they should, because you look too damn good. And that truth, it's pissing them off. Good. Let it. You want to know something? They never feared your failure. They counted on it. In fact, they needed it. Your struggle gave them comfort. Your confusion kept them warm at night. Your pain validated their laziness. Because as long as you were silent, scared, second-guessing, and stuck in circles, they didn't have to confront themselves. But now that you've evolved past the noise, now that you walk in glowing, you've become the enemy of their excuses, the destroyer of their delusions, the proof that, no, it wasn't impossible. They were just cowards. And they'll never say that out loud. They'll never admit they wanted to see you fail, even though they rehearsed your funeral in their heads every night. They'll never admit they liked watching you break, that it made them feel strong to watch you weak, that it made them feel worthy to watch you doubt yourself. But now they're quiet. Now they're hiding. Because the game is over. The version of you they could handle is dead, and in its place stands something they never saw coming, the truth in human form. You don't walk in like you used to. You glide, you cut, you command. You carry presence, that heavy, uncomfortable kind of presence that doesn't ask permission, that doesn't wait for applause, that doesn't explain its existence. You just show up, and that's enough to rearrange the molecules in the room. And that glow they hate, that's not aesthetics, that's evidence, that's proof. That's a history of pain turned to fuel. That's every fake friend, every missed call, every ghosted message, every betrayal, every I'm busy, every backhanded compliment, every time they laughed behind your back and smiled to your face, turned into one blinding, holy, untouchable light. You're not glowing because they love you. You're glowing because you loved yourself through every storm they threw at you. You're not glowing because they clapped for you. You're glowing because you clapped for yourself in empty rooms and kept going anyway. You're not glowing because life was easy. You're glowing because you earned it. And they know it. They see you, and they remember every time they underestimated you. Every time they talked about you like your name was dirt. Every time they laughed at you like your dreams were comedy. Now, the joke's on them, because you turned everything they threw at you into armor. They hid behind crowds. You walked through fire alone. They followed trends. You followed vision. They got loud. You got focused. And now, they hide when you walk in, because when you glow, you expose everything they tried to keep in the dark. You expose the lies they told about you, the lies they told to themselves, the masks they wear just to feel okay, standing next to someone as real as you. You are no longer someone they can predict, or control, or box in. You're too loud for that. Even in silence, you're loud. You're a walking warning label that says, don't come close unless you're ready for truth. That's why they avoid you. because your existence demands they change, and they're not ready for that kind of confrontation. And let's make one thing very clear. You did not come this far to play small again. You did not bleed for this glow just to dim it for people who are afraid of the light. You did not suffer in silence, build yourself from ruins, resurrect your own soul, and walk back into the world with fire in your chest just to make cowards feel comfortable. So let them hate, let them hide, let them whisper, let them shrink. You've got a glow that doesn't ask for mercy. You've got a glow that kicks down doors, a glow that reminds people exactly why they can't kill what was built in pain and raised in war. You're not just glowing. You are a walking contradiction to every lie they believed about you. You're not supposed to look this healthy. You're not supposed to be this calm. You're not supposed to be glowing, smiling, succeeding, thriving. But you are, and they can't take it. They don't know what to do with someone who walked through fire and came out looking like royalty. They don't know how to talk to someone who went from buried to brilliant. They don't know how to breathe around someone who carries this much presence without trying. So again, let them hide. They're not your people. They never were. You don't need ghosts. You don't need shadows. You are light. And when light walks in, darkness runs. So next time you walk into the room and feel the shift, don't question it. Own it. Smile like revenge. Stand like justice. Speak like prophecy. Because this glow is the result of everything they didn't see and everything you refuse to give up on. You're not just glowing anymore. You're untouchable. And if that pisses them off, good. Let it burn. Because they hid while you transformed. They laughed while you built. They waited for your fall, and instead, you ascended. So now you walk in glowing, and they start hiding, as they should. So here we are, full circle. You, standing in the same rooms that once made you feel invisible. You, walking through doors that used to slam in your face. You, glowing from the inside out, not because the world finally gave you permission, but because you gave it to yourself. Look back, just for a second. Look at the trail behind you, the signs, the scars, the setbacks, the betrayals. You didn't just survive them. You transformed through them. You built through them. You became undeniable through them. And now the rooms that used to reject you are heavy with your name. Your energy walks in 5 steps ahead of you. Your presence fills the air like prophecy, and they can't take it. Let that sink in. You used to wonder why they didn't clap for you, why they disappeared when you needed them, why they grew cold when you got close to winning, why they gave you silence instead of support. And now you know, it was never about you being too loud. It was about you being too real, too strong, too resilient to break the way they did. They wanted to see you quit, to see you question yourself, to watch you bend to their opinions like you were made of fear. But instead, you stood tall. You grew sharper. You walked into every storm like it owed you something. You turned your wounds into armor. You turned your glow into a weapon. And now, they flinch when they see you. Not because you changed, but because you didn't fold. Because you were never supposed to become this much. You weren't supposed to look this good after being dragged through hell. You weren't supposed to be this composed, this confident, this loud, this clear. But you are. And it's pissing them off. Perfect. Let that be your final reminder. You owe no one your silence. You owe no one your humility when it's used to keep you small. You owe no one a dimmed down version of yourself. so they can feel more secure in their mediocrity. You didn't go to war with yourself just to come back and whisper. You didn't cry in silence, train in shadows, fight through your own darkness just to beg for approval from people who couldn't even stand next to your worst day without breaking. So now, when they hide, let them. When they whisper, let them. When they stare, let them. Because this glow you walk in with, it wasn't handed to you. It was earned. It was suffered for. It was fought for. And if it burns their eyes, good. They spent long enough trying to blind you. Now let them live in the shadow of everything you became, because you walked in glowing, and they started hiding, not because you did something wrong, but because you did something they didn't believe was possible. You made it through. You rose. You kept going. You became something unrecognizable to the version of you they thought would never escape. Let that be your legacy, not the one who fit in, the one who stood out, not the one they approved of, the one they couldn't ignore, and not the one who tried to blend into the crowd, but the one who walked in glowing and made the crowd scatter. Let that be the truth they choke on. You look too good. You are too good. And that truth, it's still pissing them off. Perfect. Let it. You walked in glowing, not because they let you, but because you became the fire they tried to extinguish. Every step you take now is a silent reminder that you rose from everything meant to break you, and that kind of presence terrifies those still hiding from their own reflection. So let them flinch, let them stare, let them drown in the silence they once weaponized against you. Because now you look too damn good, and if that truth pisses them off, let it. That glow, it's not decoration, it's declaration that you made it unapologetically and you're never dimming again. Ladies and gentlemen, you stand at the precipice of greatness. The moment you've worked for, the moment you've sacrificed for, is now upon you. You've taken over the game, and now they're struggling to keep up. There was a time when they thought you were just another face in the crowd, when they looked past you, dismissing your ambition, your drive, and your relentless hunger to succeed. They had their doubts, they questioned your every move, and they laughed at the audacity of your dreams. But now they see what you've become. You have risen beyond the limits they set for you, beyond the expectations they imposed, and you've set a new standard. And as you stand on top of the world, they watch from below, struggling, gasping, trying to catch up to your relentless pace. This is your moment. The moment when you realize that all those late nights, all the sacrifices you made, all the times you pushed yourself past the limits of exhaustion, all those moments when you stood alone, rejected, underestimated, none of that was in vain. It all paid off. You didn't just enter the game, you took it over. And now, the very people who tried to break you, who doubted you, who dismissed you, they are struggling. They are scrambling to find a foothold, trying to comprehend how you reached this point and how they can even begin to keep up with someone like you. You see, what they don't understand is this: you were never meant to be a follower. You were never meant to play by the rules of the game that others set for you. While they were content with mediocrity, with following the same tired path that everyone before them had walked, you chose a different route. You chose to break free from the chains that bound you to conformity. You chose to think bigger, to aim higher, to push yourself harder. You weren't interested in playing it safe. You weren't interested in fitting into their narrow definition of success. You wanted more. You wanted it all, and now you have it. They may try to pretend that they don't care, that they're not concerned with what you're doing, but deep down, they know the truth. They know that you've taken control of the game, and now they're struggling to even stay in the race. They're behind, trying to figure out how to catch up to you, how to close the gap. But it's too late. You've already set the pace. You've already shown them what is possible. You've already proven that limits are nothing more than illusions, and success is simply a matter of willpower and determination. When you started, they thought you were foolish. They thought you were overconfident. They laughed at your ambition and ridiculed your dreams. They didn't see the fire burning inside you, the relentless drive that pushed you to keep going when everyone else gave up. They didn't see the sacrifices you made behind closed doors, the moments of doubt you overcame, the pain you pushed through. But now they see it all. Now they understand the price you paid to get to this point. And now they know that they were wrong. The game has changed. You changed it. You didn't wait for permission. You didn't ask for approval. You didn't sit back and wait for the perfect moment to make your move. You took action. You made your own opportunities. You created your own path. And now, they are struggling to follow in your footsteps, trying to catch up to your momentum, but they're always a step behind. They say that success is a lonely road, and that's true. The higher you climb, the fewer people there are with you. And those who were once close to you, those who once walked beside you, they now find themselves lost, trying to keep up with a version of you that they can't even recognize. You've outgrown them, you've surpassed them, and that's not your fault. You didn't leave them behind. They simply couldn't keep up with the pace you set. And yet, despite all your success, despite the fact that you've already won the game, there will be those who will try to tear you down. There will be those who will try to discredit your achievements, to make you feel like you don't deserve to be where you are. They will try to diminish your success, to tell you that it was luck, that you didn't truly earn it. But don't listen to them. Don't let their jealousy and bitterness cloud your judgment. You earned every inch of this. You fought for every victory. You pushed yourself to the limit and beyond. You have every right to stand tall and proud, because you've done what they never could. They're struggling now, and they will continue to struggle, because they don't have what you have. They don't have the vision, the determination, the strength to keep moving forward when the world tells them to stop. They don't have the grit to keep fighting when everyone else has already given up. They don't have the heart to keep pushing when the pain is too much to bear. But you do. You have all of that and more. And that's why you're standing at the top while they're stuck at the bottom, looking up at you, wishing they could be where you are. You are the standard now. You are the one they look to for inspiration. You are the one they will try to imitate, but they will never be able to replicate your success, because your journey was unique. Your struggles were your own. Your victories were hard-earned. They may try to copy your moves, but they will never have the heart that you have. They will never have the same fire that you have, burning inside of you. They will never be able to match the hunger that drives you to keep going, even when the odds are stacked against you. So, let them struggle. Let them watch from the sidelines as you continue to rise higher, as you continue to break barriers and set new records. Let them try to catch up, but know that they never will. Because you didn't just take over the game, you changed it. You showed the world what it means to truly succeed. You showed them that greatness isn't given. It's earned through hard work, perseverance, and an unshakable belief in yourself. Now that you're on top, you have a responsibility to continue pushing forward, to continue leading by example. You can't stop now. You can't rest on your laurels. There are more mountains to climb, more battles to win, more records to break. You've shown them what you're capable of, but you have to keep proving it to yourself. You have to keep showing up, day in and day out, and doing what it takes to stay on top. Because this is just the beginning. The game you've taken over the one they're struggling to keep up with, is just the first step. There's more to come, and you're ready for it. And when the world tries to pull you down, when the doubters and haters come for you, you'll stand tall. You'll remember how far you've come, how much you've overcome, and how much you've achieved. You'll remember that they thought you couldn't do it, and you'll remember that you proved them wrong. You will keep moving forward, because you know that the only way to truly stay on top is to keep pushing, to keep evolving, to keep striving for more. So hold your head high, because you've earned it. You've taken over the game, and now they're struggling to keep up. But that's not your problem. Your problem is to keep rising, to keep leading, to keep breaking the rules and setting the standard. And trust me, there's nothing more satisfying than knowing that no matter how hard they try, they will never catch up to you. You've already left them behind. The moment you look back, you realize just how far you've come. What once seemed like a distant dream is now your reality. And it's a reality they can only watch from a distance, struggling to find their way forward, while you soar above them, outpacing them in ways they couldn't even begin to comprehend. It's not just a matter of speed, it's a matter of vision, of strength, of relentless focus that they simply couldn't muster. You didn't take the easy route. You didn't take the comfortable path. You chose the path that only those with the courage to embrace the unknown would dare to walk. And now, with every step, you've left them behind. So far behind that even if they tried to catch up, they would still be chasing shadows. But you didn't do it for them. You did it for yourself. You did it because you believed in your own potential when no one else did. You saw something in yourself that no one else could. While they were stuck in their limitations, trapped by their fears, and paralyzed by their insecurities, you chose to rise above it all. You chose to embrace the struggle, the discomfort, and the sacrifice. You chose to be uncomfortable, to push your boundaries, to live outside of the predictable and the safe. They didn't understand that. They couldn't see the value in it. They couldn't comprehend the immense power that comes from fighting through the storms, the darkest days, the moments when all you had was your will to keep going. And now, they're looking up at you, stunned, confused, and trying desperately to play catch-up, but they're too far behind to ever close the gap. They may try to replicate what you've done, they may try to copy your moves, but they will always be a step too slow, a moment too late. They'll never understand that the success you've achieved didn't come from shortcuts, from playing it safe, or from following the crowd. It came from embracing the grind, from living in the trenches, from facing down your fears every single day and saying, "You will not defeat me." That's something they'll never know. They'll never understand the true nature of sacrifice, the sleepless nights, the relentless pursuit of a vision that only you could see. You didn't just do this for recognition or applause. You did it because you knew, deep down, that you had something special, something rare, something that could change the game. You didn't need their validation. You didn't need their support. You didn't need their validation. You didn't need their support. You didn't need their approval. You had your own drive, your own fire, your own unbreakable will. And it was that fire that propelled you forward, that kept you pushing through when everyone else gave up, when they told you it was impossible, when they told you it would never happen. You proved them wrong. What sets you apart, what makes you different from the ones who are still struggling to catch up, is your mentality. It's your unwavering belief that anything is possible if you are willing to work for it. It's the fact that you understand the value of persistence, of resilience, of refusing to quit, even when the world seems to be pushing against you. While they were busy looking for the easy way out, the quick fix, the shortcut, you were busy putting in the work. You were busy developing your skills, refining your craft, pushing your limits, and doing the things that no one else was willing to do. And now, they're struggling to even keep up with you, trying to figure out what they missed, what they didn't do, what they could have done differently. They look at you, at what you've accomplished, and they can't figure out how you did it. The truth is, they were never willing to do what you did. They were never willing to sacrifice what you sacrificed. They were never willing to go through the pain and the struggle to get to the place you've reached. But here's the thing, when you reach the top, when you've achieved everything you've worked for, there's no turning back. You can't go back to being who you were before. You've evolved. You've become someone different, someone who sees the world through a new lens, someone who knows what it takes to succeed and who is willing to continue pushing for more. And those who are struggling to keep up will never understand that. They will keep looking for shortcuts, keep looking for ways to bypass the process, but they'll never get it. Because the process, the struggle, the grind, it's what makes you who you are. It's what builds the strength, the character, the resilience that enables you to stay at the top while they struggle to even find their way to the middle. When you've taken over the game, you've changed the rules, you've rewritten the playbook. And now, as they try to follow, as they try to understand how you did it, they realize they can't play by the same rules they once did. They've become obsolete. The game has evolved, and they are still stuck in the past. They still think that success can be achieved by following the same old patterns, by playing it safe, by staying within their comfort zones. But you've already moved on. You've already outgrown those limitations. And now, you are moving at a pace they can't even comprehend. You didn't get to this point by being average. You didn't get here by taking the same route that everyone else took. You didn't succeed by following in the footsteps of others. No, you took the road less traveled. You carved your own path. You built your own legacy. And now, you are a force to be reckoned with. And they are stuck in the past, stuck in their own limitations, stuck in their own fears. It's a hard truth to accept, but the reality is this. When you leave them behind, it's not out of malice. It's simply because you've outgrown them. You've become someone they can't relate to anymore. You've developed the mindset of a winner, the mentality of someone who is always striving for more, always pushing for better, always reaching for greatness. They're still holding on to their old beliefs, their old ways of thinking, and they just can't catch up. They may try to imitate you, but they will always fall short because they don't have the foundation you've built. They don't have the resilience, the grit, the drive that you have inside you. And the reality is, you don't owe them anything. You don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe them your time, your energy, or your attention. You've done the work, you've paid the price, you've earned your place at the top. If they want to catch up, they'll have to do the same. But you know they won't. You know they won't put in the work. You know they won't make the sacrifices. And so, they'll continue to struggle while you continue to rise. This is your moment. This is your time. You've shown them what it means to truly succeed. You've set the bar so high that they'll never be able to reach it. And now, it's up to you to keep climbing, to keep pushing forward, to keep achieving. Because there's always more to be done. There's always a next level. You've taken over the game. And now, it's your responsibility to continue to shape it, to continue to lead, to continue to inspire those who are still stuck in the shadows. Let them struggle. Let them try to catch up. But you're already far ahead, and you're not stopping now. You're not stopping now, and you never will. There is no finish line in this game you've chosen to dominate. The journey you've embarked upon is one that doesn't have a singular destination, but an ongoing evolution, a continuous progression towards something bigger, something more powerful. You've already reached a level of success that most only dream of, but for you, it's just the beginning. You've proven to yourself and to the world that there is no ceiling to what you can achieve, that your potential is limitless, and that you're not bound by the same limitations that others place on themselves. The road ahead is uncharted territory, and you're the one with the courage to lead the way, to break through the barriers that others are still too afraid to even acknowledge. As you stand in the position you do now, with all eyes watching you, waiting for you to stumble, waiting for you to slip, you only become stronger. The higher you climb, the more pressure they'll try to put on you. But you're built for this. You've spent countless hours forging your mind, body, and spirit, conditioning yourself for every challenge, every obstacle, and every setback that could come your way. While others think that success is a finite thing, that once you reach the top, it's time to rest, you know better. For you, the top is just the beginning. There is always more to learn, more to achieve, and more to conquer. The moment you stop striving for more, the moment you stop pushing forward, is the moment you start falling behind. And you don't intend to ever fall behind again. You've already left the doubters and the naysayers behind, but that doesn't mean you're done. It doesn't mean you've reached your full potential. It doesn't mean you've achieved everything you're capable of. Number. You've only scratched the surface. The world has yet to see what you're truly capable of. The vision you have for your life, for your success, is far beyond anything most people could even dream of. They're still struggling to catch up to your level, and you're already plotting the next move, already thinking about the next step in your journey. While they're still trying to understand how you did what you've done, you're already looking ahead, already preparing to leave them even further behind. There are those who think that success is an event, a singular achievement that once obtained defines you forever. But success isn't an event, it's a mindset, a constant state of growth, an ongoing process of becoming the person you were always meant to be. Success doesn't stop when you hit a certain milestone or achieve a certain goal. It doesn't stop when you break a record or make a name for yourself. Success is what happens when you make the choice to keep moving, to keep pushing, and to keep striving for more, no matter how high you've climbed or how much you've already accomplished. You've learned that the moment you stop challenging yourself, the moment you become complacent with where you are, you risk losing everything that you've worked for. That's why you're not stopping now. You can't. You won't. The moment you take your foot off the gas is the moment you give others the opportunity to catch up, to take your place. And that's not something you're willing to let happen. While others are still figuring out how to navigate the game, how to get ahead, how to gain an advantage, you've already redefined the rules. You've already created your own system, your own way of doing things, your own strategy for winning. You've embraced the idea that there is no one-size-fits-all solution to success. You've learned that in order to rise above the rest, you have to be willing to do what no one else is willing to do. You have to be willing to make the sacrifices others won't make. You have to be willing to take the risks others are too afraid to take. And you've done that, time and time again. When the world told you to play it safe, you took the risk. When everyone else was playing by the same old playbook, you wrote your own. You weren't afraid to be different, to stand out, to stand alone when necessary. While they were busy trying to fit in, trying to follow the formula, you were busy making your own path. And that's what got you here. That's what put you in the position you're in now. That's why you're not stopping now. You've reached the top, but you know that it's not about the destination. It's about the process, the journey, and the drive that keeps you moving forward. The people who once doubted you, the people who once said you couldn't do it, are still watching you, still questioning your every move. But they don't understand. They can't. They don't have the same fire that you do, the same unshakable determination that propels you forward, even when it feels like the world is against you. They don't know what it takes to keep going when the odds are stacked against you, when every part of you wants to quit. They don't know what it feels like to push through when every muscle in your body is telling you to stop, when every voice in your head is telling you that it's too hard. But you do. You've been there. You've felt that pain. You've experienced that fear, but you didn't let it stop you. You used it as fuel. You used it as motivation, and that's why you're not stopping now. The world will try to break you. The world will try to push you down. It will throw obstacles in your way, try to knock you off course, try to make you doubt yourself. But the difference between you and those who struggle to keep up is that you've built a foundation that can't be shaken. You've developed a resilience that can't be broken. You've conditioned yourself to thrive in the face of adversity, to rise stronger from every setback, and to turn every failure into a lesson. When they get knocked down, they stay down. But when you get knocked down, you rise. You rise because you know that it's not the fall that matters. It's how you get up. And every time you get up, you get stronger, smarter, and more powerful. So as they try to catch up, as they scramble to keep pace with you, know that you're already thinking about the next move. You're already thinking about how to raise the bar even higher, how to push the limits even further, how to make them struggle even more to keep up. You're not concerned with their struggles because you know they'll always be chasing you, trying to close the gap, but never quite able to do so. And that's okay. Let them chase. Let them try. But know that the gap you've created is a chasm they will never cross because they don't have the mindset, the drive, or the vision that you do. And when the inevitable hurdles come, when the tough times hit, when the doubts creep in, you'll face them head on. You'll stare them down and remind yourself that you're built for this. You were born for this. You're not stopping now, and you won't ever stop. The road ahead is yours to conquer, and nothing and no one can stand in your way. You've already proven that you have what it takes to win, to succeed, and to rise above every challenge. And the world has only begun to see what you're capable of. So keep moving, keep climbing, keep dominating. Because the game you've taken over, it's yours now. And nothing is going to stop you from winning. You've already left them behind, and now you're setting your sights on new heights. You're not stopping now, and you never will. In the end, your journey is just beginning. The game you've conquered is only a chapter in a much larger story of relentless growth, unyielding determination, and untapped potential. As others struggle to catch up, you'll continue to push boundaries, redefine the rules, and rise higher than ever before. You've proven to yourself and the world that you are unstoppable. And as long as you keep moving forward, no one will ever come close to matching your drive, your ambition, or your unwavering commitment. The path ahead is yours to claim. You're not stopping now, and you never will.